what most people do on social media and the way they use it is they mimic what they see big successful people doing. So most authors go, oh, I'm going to do what that big author does. I'm going to use social media in that way. And what they don't realize is using social media as someone who is already established, successful, has an audience, famous, whatever, is completely different than using it as someone who people don't know. I used to do a lot of work with comedians, and you would see this all the time, right? And they'd be like, well, those comics just post jokes, so I'll just post jokes. But those comics didn't build an audience by posting jokes. They built an audience because they have a show on NBC. Like, it's a totally different thing. Like, they have massive followings, usually because of something they did off of social media. They're not actually that good at using social media. So if you have a big established audience, the way you're going to use social media is going to be completely different than if you're trying to grow your audience. Think about, how can I use this to attract people who don't know me versus, hey, here's what I had for lunch today. I'm working on the sequel with a character that you have no idea who this person is. Why would you care? The other big trap to avoid, and almost all creators fall into this, but I think especially authors and writers, is they create content that appeals to other authors and writers and not readers. And there is overlap. So yes, some writers tend to be readers and whatever. And again, it's not just authors. I would see this with comedians all the time. They're posting jokes about, or not even just jokes, but they're going on a rant about the frustrations of open mic night. Your audience isn't going to open mic night. They're not performing. They don't care about any of that, but they're getting feedback. And you see this again with authors as well, right? They're talking about the frustrations of writer's block, and their author friends go, oh, I like that, and reply. And they think it's like engaging, but they're not actually growing anything because they're just talking to their own little community.